Well, I promised it wouldn't take another 3 weeks for me to upload another video, but here we are, 3 weeks later. You know, you kind of just lose track of time. But it is summer now, so I do have more free time. Hopefully I'll be able to make more videos. Most likely won't happen, though. It's sad that Jobby the Hongna has a more consistent upload schedule than me. But anyway, let's actually get into the video. Hello, everyone. My name is Kaiju Cooper, and today we are taking a look at the NECA Godzilla X Kong 2024 Evolved Godzilla. Here he is in all of his glory. Now, to any of you with more than 3 brain cells, you'll know that this is not actually a NECA figure. Well, it is, but this was not officially released because they lost a license like 3 years ago. The NECA company cannot legally make these toys anymore. This is a custom figure, which I will go over in a second, but I want to talk about NECA. For those of you who sadly don't know who NECA is, they were probably one of the best Godzilla figure producing companies out there. They made some very highly articulated and highly detailed Godzilla figures that didn't cost you an arm and a leg. I'm looking at USH Monster Arts. I mean, yeah, you get a really good looking figure for like 30 bucks from them, which was nice. Sadly, like I said, they lost a license because of Playmates, and Playmates make stuff that looks like this. The only other articulated Godzilla figures you can get at the same price point anymore look like this. So yeah. Now Haya Toys has stepped in, kind of filling in for NECA, but they are much more expensive. They are larger though, and the plastic quality is a little bit better, but still, $50 is pretty steep. So I think the whole Godzilla collecting community has kind of felt the loss of NECA. I really do miss them. Now, I want to make it clear, any point in this video, when I say the word NECA, can be clipped for future reference, because someone is absolutely going to make it sound like I'm saying the end. Anyway, taking a look at the figure that's just been sitting here on the table. This is based off of the 2019 Godzilla, which is probably the closest we have to the 2024 Godzilla. He was pretty busted up. He was missing his spines. They were just torn out of his back, and he also had no tail tip. I bought another Playmates Godzilla, tore his spines off, and the tip of his tail off as well, and kind of put them on here. Turned out really good. I haven't made a Godzilla custom in at least 2-3 years now. So I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now, there are, of course, some things that could have done better, like the head here. I'm not very happy with how the head turned out. Could have been worse, but, you know, most of my beautiful work here is in the body. Going over everything, the spines here are taken right off of the Playmates figure. They are still kind of translucent, but I did paint over them so that the whole figure just had a more consistent finish. But that's enough yammering. Let's take a look at the actual sculpting and detailing here. The tail from this point onwards is all the Playmates tail. It's got the new tail tip as well, and some different sculpting from how the NECA looks. I did paint everything in a dark bluish grayish color before going over all of that with this lighter color, so you can kind of see all the scales. It really brings out that detail. Now, because of how I cut the waist and the neck, it does actually give him a lot more range, and he can stand up a lot straighter than the original NECA figure could, who was kind of always hunched over like a disabled person. So yeah, at least he can stand up straight. He does have a bit of a neck gap now, but I don't really care. I did add a couple spots of this reddish hot pink in some areas. He does have that color in the movie. I added some on his legs because why not? He's got some along his spines as well. So that turned out pretty good. Taking a look at the head, I tried to sculpt in some eyebrow things here and the chin spikes, but I don't have any actual good hard bake clay or any epoxy sculpt or anything like that. It's this stupid air dry clay which crumbles into dust that looks like cocaine. Now, while that might help you smuggle drugs past TSA, it really doesn't help me with the chin sculpting here. It just kind of fell off immediately, but I painted it anyway. I kind of gave up when I got to the head. I'm going to be honest with you. The teeth, as you can see, they look kind of weird with how I had to paint them, and that is mainly because the original NECA 2019 just really didn't have sculpted teeth, like, at all. Looked very crappy. Very crappy. So I just had to cut some new teeth in there, and it looks a little bit odd. But overall, I did my best with my limited knowledge of making Godzilla customs. This is pretty much my first full-on custom Godzilla figure. I did also add the elbow spikes that he has in the movie. These are also taken off of the Playmates Godzilla, so that turned out pretty well. I couldn't give him the longer, beefier arms because I just didn't know how I'd do that. So most of this is kind of an in-between between the 2019 Godzilla and the 2024 Godzilla designs. And yeah, that's about all I have to say for this guy. In terms of articulation, it's the same as the 2019 figure, except the waist has much more range now because of how I cut it. Same thing with the neck and the head. The head has a bit more range, just because I had to soften up the plastic. The tail lost some joints because of the Playmates tail that I added. Now, because I had to buy an extra Playmates Godzilla, there is the Playmates Atomic Breath part, but it doesn't really fit with this guy. You kind of just have to stick it in his mouth. There's no real connection tab or anything. There's no hole in the mouth. So that's the best you're getting in terms of accessories. Now, I do want to say, while NECA could not legally make any more Godzilla figures, that did not stop China. If you go on AliExpress, you'll find a ton of bootlegged NECA figures painted to look like the 2024 Godzilla. They got pink atomic breath and everything. It's very odd looking. They even have new boxes. But, you know, because it's sweatshop Chinese manufacturing, the quality control on them is pretty bad. So, wouldn't recommend getting one of those. Anyway, time for the size comparisons. This is a 6-inch scale figure, so let's just go ahead and get into it. Here is my custom NECA Godzilla with all of the Playmates Godzilla figures so far. Some of these are repaints, but they're all the same molds. So here's how he scales with them, if you're curious at all. Next up, here he is next to another NECA Godzilla of the same kind. This is the 1994 Godzilla. So there he is. And finally, here he is with the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime. So you get a good sense of the scale there as well. He's not a very big figure. He's about 6 inches tall. And yeah, that's about it. And yeah, this isn't a Transformer, so there's no real alt mode or crazy accessories to talk about. So that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I liked sharing this custom with you guys. If I should do more Godzilla customs, leave some ideas or some suggestions down in the comments. I'll see what I can do, or if I even can do it. But yeah, this was a cool change of pace. I do want to start doing more Godzilla videos because I'm going to be honest, those are the main things that get views on this channel. Now, of course, I'm not going to rate my own figure. I'm not that egotistical. So that's pretty much the end of the video. Like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure you join the Discord. I do game nights every Saturday. There's also a live Gartic Phone stream every Friday on this channel with viewer participation. So if you want to join that, make sure you got notifications turned on so you can know when I am live. So with that, hope you enjoyed. Like I said, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff, and kiss your mother for me. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.